It's your boy, Jeff Jones.
It's your guy, Mike Jones.
This is 234 Sports Talk. Let's
Let's
talk
talk
about it, bro.
about it.
Let's talk
Let's talk
about it.
about
Thomas Boykin could not be with us on tonight. He'll be with us the next time we record. All right, Tom.
it.
Mike,
Right.
let's get at it, man. Let's get at it. The Green Bay Packers
Woo.
just finished the game. Just watched the Detroit uh, Lions versus Green Bay Packers in Detroit. And I'm shocked at what I just witnessed. Green Bay is on a 5-game losing streak. A 5-game losing streak. They lose today 15-9 to the Detroit Lions. Aaron Rodgers was 23 of 43, 291 yards, and 3 interceptions. 2 in the red zone, might I add. What do you think is going on with the Green Bay Packers, Mike?
I tell you what, Jeff, I'm not really for sure. They've been good for so long. It's just weird to see them lose games. It's weird to see Aaron Rodgers, man, throw multiple interceptions and they lose. Um, it's weird seeing them just scoring 9 points. I mean, everything about this Green Bay Packer team so far is just really weird, man. And I don't know how they are going to right the ship. I guess they just gonna have to get in there and do more film study. But definitely, man, they're not having a great season, and I'm not for sure if it's about the wide receiver that left, Adams leaving, but that offensive line and defensive line, man, they look horrible. Uh, I don't know what to tell you, Jones. Five straight, and today against out of all teams, the Detroit Lions, the bottom feeder. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, Mike, when I look at it, me being a Green Bay fan, that's my favorite team. I look at it like this. First of all, it hurt us to lose Devontae Adams. It really did. But I mean, you have a receiving core that's young, but I believe that you still had a receiving core that would, possibly be able to do something this year. I think that I really believe what hurt us is prior years, not just this year here, but prior years. I feel as if the GM hasn't done enough to make this a better team. A lot of free agents out there. Matter of fact, we needed some wide receiver help. We could have got Chase Claypool, receiver from the Steelers, but that didn't work out. They said that they offered a trade, and I guess it was a weak trade. But whatever it was, it didn't work out. I think that they don't really put enough emphasis on going after free agents. They haven't really done anything big since Reggie White, since Andre Rison. You haven't had any big name free agents since then. Do you think that maybe there needs to be a shakeup at the top in Green Bay?
Uh, I wouldn't really say a shakeup at the top, man, because like I said, you can be good for so long, and then it just becomes that time in an organization, where you start to lose some games. But when I do look at Green Bay roster, I really don't recognize a lot of those names on there. A lot of player names on that team. The running back I recognize, but it's just a couple. I mean, it's several players on there. I have no clue who they are, man. And when you start looking at teams where you can't recognize the players, then you might not have a very talented roster. So we'll see how this year play out. I mean, they still got about how many games have they played already?
This
Eight
week
games.
9 right here.
Okay, week 9. Okay, so they still got about 8 more games to go. We'll see how the second half of the season go. If they can pull it together, if I see some promise, then maybe you are just a player or two away from getting back to being relevant again in the league. But right now, they're chasing Minnesota. It's going to be difficult, And at the beginning of the season, man, I had them playing for the NFC Championship. And whoa, has time changed, man? I
Yeah.
can't believe it, man.
Yeah, it's it is shocking, and you bring up a good point that they've been good for so long. I guess that sooner or later, you can't be good forever. So I guess that we just witnessing that right now, and that's a good point, Mike Jones. Well,
Mhm.
Mike, we had some good college football on yesterday, some upsets, big name upsets, big name upsets. Georgia beat Tennessee 27-13. We had Clemson losing to Notre Dame. I'm sorry, Notre Dame 35-14. Notre Dame actually took it to those guys. Then we had Alabama losing 32-31 to LSU. So big time shakeup in the top 5 in the top 10. Big time shakeups. What's your take on that? Let's talk about your favorite team, the Tennessee game. Let's talk about that game. What did you take out of that Georgia Tennessee game?
Do we have to? Do we?
I don't
But
want to put you on the spot, but we got to talk about it, brother.
I will say this, man. Georgia proved that they should have been number one in the first college football playoff rankings. They are number one, and like our fellow host Thomas Boykin said, Georgia should have been number one from the start all the way to the finish. Until somebody dethroned the champ, they should be number one. And they went out yesterday and they proved it. They shut any doubters up. They shut Tennessee fans up. They showed, and when they beat Oregon, that very first game of the year, I was like, man, maybe Oregon just sucked. But no, Georgia is the real deal. I'm heaping them a lot of praise, man. It's gonna be tough for anybody to beat them.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't see anybody dealing with those guys. I think they'll probably end up winning another national championship in college football.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the Alabama loss to LSU. I did not see that coming. I'm gonna be honest with you. 32-31, a shocker. I did not see that coming. Matter of fact, when me and Thomas was doing the picks for the college, we actually both picked Alabama to win that game.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Well,
he's. Go ahead, bro.
no, I was just gonna say, man. This year for Alabama has been, Alabama has not played very great football that we're used to watching over the years. I don't know what that problem is. I don't know if Nick Saban is starting to lose his coaching edge. I don't know, if people just not scared of Alabama anymore. But then you look at LSU. LSU, man, when they took that butt whip from Tennessee, man, they've been on a roll ever since. They have picked up momentum, and that's what you want. Going through a season, you want to pick up that momentum midway or at the end of the season. Whether it's to carry over to next year or to get into these playoffs and get good bowl games. So for me, it didn't shock me. And at the very beginning of the season when we were talking, picking teams and you guys were talking about, well, they going Alabama's gonna get in there. And I really didn't feel like Alabama was gonna get in the playoffs this year.
Mm-hmm.
And the way it's playing out, they probably won't.
Yeah, definitely dropped down to number 10 after that loss. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I can't even see it happening. But college is so unpredictable. You never know.
Right.
Uh, everybody still has a few games left. But I can't see them getting in the mix of things as far as the college playoffs go and things of that nature. Well, the other game we want to talk about is Clemson losing 35-14 to Notre Dame. What's your take on that, Mike?
Man, somebody woke Notre Dame up finally, huh?
I
They've
agree
been
with you.
sleeping
I
all
was a
year.
little worried about those guys.
I tell you what, man. We had all of us had agreed that Clemson seemed like they was a little overrated, and they played some games so far this year where they had to win them in overtime and or last second, to win those games. And those teams that they beat, those teams either are not ranked right now or they are on the back end of the rankings. So those wins that they got don't, they don't seem quality wins. So Clemson, I don't know where they are in the rankings right now. In
But they
the
dropped
AP
down to number 12 now. They
number
dropped down to
12.
12. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so they're done. They're not. I don't even think they have. Even if they win a conference, and I just don't think that's a strong conference. So therefore, there is no way I see them pulling back up in there.
Yeah, so we see Alabama probably out of the mix for sure, and Clemson out of the mix for sure. But watch out for Georgia. And one team I do want to note is that Ohio State, even Michigan, one of those two Big Ten teams could be a threat. Now I don't think they'll beat Georgia, but I think that I believe that if I had to pick one of them, I think Ohio State might be a team that could potentially give Georgia a fight. And Michigan probably could too, but I think Ohio State, that would be my pick. If I had to choose one of those teams from the Big Ten to go up against Georgia, I'd pick Ohio State.
Yeah, I agree. And those two teams, like you said, they play each other. If I'm not mistaken, the last game of the season. And the thing with Michigan is Michigan seems like they are one dimensional, and they like running the ball, and you got to be multiple when you play against like a Georgia. So and really I don't see them getting past Ohio State. That's just my opinion. But Ohio State they had a very challenging game yesterday against Northwestern. But a lot of that had to do with the weather and all. But Ohio State looks to be the team that probably could give Georgia the most problems.
All right, Mike, let's talk a little NBA. My Milwaukee Bucks, 8-0, the best start in franchise history. Giannis putting up MVP numbers. Is there anybody that you've been watching, as far as the NBA, any team that has impressed you?
Well, I tell you what, man. I haven't really been able to watch a lot of games, being moving to a different shift and all. But I kind of been keeping my eye on Cleveland, the Cavaliers, man. They got that one player, man, brought him in, and so they're looking very good, man. I think they might be undefeated if I'm not mistaken. And man, like I said, kudos to your Bucks, man. And they doing this without a key player. That's what's amazing to me. And also, man, I've been, I'm always gonna keep my eye on Ja Morant, man, and the Memphis Grizzlies. Ja had 49 points the other day. He just went off, man. He was blocking, he was dunking, he was running the court, he was doing some old doubt, just Ja Morant things, man. And but yeah, so pretty much those two teams right there, man, it really caught my eye.
Yeah, Cleveland, they only lost one. They've lost one game. The Milwaukee Bucks are the only undefeated team right now in the NBA. And we know it's a long season, so that ain't gonna last. But right now they are. And yeah, I'm liking this young Cleveland roster too, man. They look really good. And Donovan Mitchell was a great pickup for them guys from out of Utah. That was a great pickup, man. And I think that with the talent that they already had there, it's going to be a dangerous team, man. You're not going to go in there and just, think you're going to beat those guys. You have to come and bring your A game.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, let's shift right along, man, and let's talk a little bit about the World Series. As you know, last night, the Houston Astros won the World Series, took care of business, 4-2 over the Philadelphia Phillies. Were you able to check out anything concerning that? What'd you think?
Well, honestly, I have not checked out a lot with the World Series, but man, I've always, this year, man, just by word of mouth, man, the Astros, man, how great of a team they are, this season, and you know, they've got history, and so hey, that's good to hear, man. And my fellow peeps, my family and them that lives in Houston, man, I know they loving it. So kudos to the Astros, man.
Yeah, hats off to the Astros. Well, Mike, we talked about it, man. Until the next time, when we get ready to talk about it again, it's been 234 Sports Talk. Peace to Thomas Boykins. We'll catch you on the next episode. Catch us on Twitter, catch us on TikTok, and catch us here on YouTube, 234 Sports Talk. We out of here.
Peace.